needle spines ripped out of the mist, but Kochyak danced aside from the hail of razor-sharp keratin. He bumped hard into a fire warrior as he spun, and he heard the little Tau stumble and fall as the needles passed harmlessly overhead. Koch didn't have time to spare him a second thought. The wire worm surged forward through the thick fog, every one of its 100 eyes fixed on its intended prey. Koch pivoted away again, bringing the butts of his rifle down hard on the creature's neck. The worm reared back with a roar, its ambush foiled, and Koch saw his opening. Skinning knife in hand, he swayed beneath the final, desperate flurry of needle spines. Then came up fast and close, ramming the slim blade firmly between the scales at the base of the neck. The creature screeched and writhed, but Koch held the knife tight until silence fell. When he stood, Koch was watching him.
Good kill.
Koch nodded at his brother, then turned back to the fire warrior he'd knocked aside. The blue runt was still sprawled in the mud, staring open-mouthed at the corpse, clutching his rifle like it was his mother's teat. Koch turned away and spat hard into the marsh.
Pathetic,
he muttered that evening as the two Kroot crouched by their fire, set apart from the Tau they were escorting.
Why do the Shapers respect them? They are not true warriors. They cling to their technology and science, just like our ancestors did. They are beneath us.
The fire leapt high, green-tinged from the marsh gas. Across the flames, Koch chewed on the leg of the dead wireworm.
They fought for Patch,
the older Kroot suggested.
And they pay. Then they say we cannot eat their flesh.
Koch muttered, as if his brother hadn't spoken.
As if they even deserve the honor. What strength could we gain from weaklings like them?
Koch paused his chewing.
They do see differently. They see their greater good.
Koch scowled into the darkness. The meat felt bitter and dark in his throat. The convoy moved slowly through the marshes. Bulky battlesuits struggled through the mud, cannons swinging uselessly through thick fog that their scanners couldn't penetrate. Even the smaller fire warriors moved with difficulty, narrow hooves sinking deep into the soft ground. The brothers took it in turns to range ahead, helping the Tau pick their way through the swamp, and watching for signs of the worms. They had only encountered lone hunters so far, but larger packs of the predators roamed this region and every day brought them closer. The day after the last attack, a fire warrior approached Koch. It took a moment before he recognized him. It was the one he'd shoved aside as he fought the wireworm.
Thank you.
The Tau said with his strange, soft lips.
You saved my life.
Koch just stared at him, until the boy shifted his feet awkwardly in the dark mud. The fire warrior pointed at the scout's long chest.
You, mighty warrior.
The Tau smiled, then turned and stumbled back to his fire team, his white armor stained dark by swamp water. Koch forced himself to unclench his fists. On the third day, the wireworms returned. The Kroot smelt them first, a sharp scent that cut through the thick fog.
Worms!
Koch was already running back towards the convoy, arms waving. The battlesuits swiveled and stumbled into motion, pulling awkwardly into a defensive formation. Koch ignored them. He kept his eyes outwards, scanning the mists, tense and low. The worms were killers, apex predators of the marsh. but so was he. There. Needle spines tore holes in the mist where Koch had been only moments ago. He streaked through the mist as the worms closed in on the convoy. Plasma boiled the air around him and lit up the marsh as the battlesuits opened fire. Yet, they hit nothing. The worms simply melted away like ghosts, then re-emerged to snatch away the weaker infantry.
Pathetic.
The mists before him parted, and a worm reared out of the gloom, all scales and spines chittering with rage. Koch didn't even try to stop. He used his momentum, ducking and rolling under the first needle volley, but then the second. If he could get under the creature's guard as he had last time. No, a second worm emerged from the mists to his left. A flurry of needles shredded his arm before he could react and sent him sprawling down into the mud. The two beasts reared above him, combined cries chittering like laughter in his ears. Koch looked into the eyes of a good death. Then a blur of white cut across his vision, and a roar of sound and searing heat consumed him. It was a long time until he realized he still had eyes to open. Before him lay the shriveled and scorched corpses of two wireworms. Between them, almost unrecognizable, he found a blue-skinned figure in white armor, clutching the shattered pin of a grenade between the charred shapes that had been his hands. Koch knelt over the body of the Tau as the mangled young warrior struggled to speak his last.
Mighty warrior.
Koch stayed with the body until the sounds of battle had faded away to silence. A shape loomed from the darkness and he tensed, but it was only Tok. The other Kroot watched Koch cradling the dead Tau.
Why did he do it?
Koch asked. Tok shrugged, as he always did.
They see things differently.
Then he turned and walked back towards the camp. Koch watched the dew settle on blue skin as the warmth passed out of the body. The Tau's eyes were peaceful and still.
You were so weak.
He murmured. What, then, did that make him? Alone in the darkness, Koch stared at the body, at dead flesh and forbidden knowledge. Then, as the mists closed in around him, he bent his head, beak quivering, and bit deep into the unknown.
Hi everyone, we hope you enjoyed this production of From a Moment of Weakness, written by Benjamin Joseph and performed by Philip C. Direction and production by Colyn DeGraaff. This story was a winner in our 1,000-word fast fiction contest. If you enjoy tales like this, head on over to coldopenstories.com. You'll find stories from factions from across Warhammer 40,000 that you can read or listen to, as well as our call for submissions. Now, while you're there, you can also check out our Original Worlds programming, anthologies, and free Discord. Now, for 5 years, Cold Open Stories has been a volunteer team of creatives. None of us receive any revenue from these productions or the site, and everything is ad-free. This year, we really want your help to break new ground, so please consider being an ambassador for stories worth telling. Share this channel with a friend, drop a link in your subreddit, or just like the channel. It all helps in spreading the word. Until next time, to be continued.